Hello, welcome to the second part of my videos on the metric system and how you can understand them in a nice way by regarding the meter as the unit vector and the prefix before the meter as our scalar value. And I will put the first part in a card here on screen so that you can watch it. I recommend that because this video is about twice as hard, or the second part of the method is about it's harder, but still it's a very powerful method, and I think you will be satisfied in the end. So we're going to convert meters into prefix meters. I've written that as meters into xm, x being our prefix here. And the first example we will go through is meters into centimeters, an easy example and a useful example because centimeters is often seen on rulers. So we need to talk about some rules that we are going to use in this video. The first rule is that a number can be written as 1 times that number. In this video, that number can also be the unit vector here. And the second rule is that a number raised to the 0th power is equal to 1. The third rule is that a number raised to the power a times that same number raised to the power b is equal to that number raised to the power a plus b. And the fourth rule is that a times b raised to the power x is equal to a raised to the power x times b raised to the power x. So that is the distribution of exponents here. And our fifth rule is that a number raised to the power a raised to the power b is equal to x, the number raised to the power a times b. So the first example, meters into centimeters. We will try our converted number that we got in the first video to see, are we able to reverse this back into centimeters? We will separate with the multiplication as we did in the first part. Now we will use the first rule, which is that we can write a number as equal to 1 times that number. In this case, we will write 1 times the unit vector, the meter. And we do that because we want to get the structure. Now we will use the second rule, that was that a number raised to the 0th power is equal to 1, and we will write 1 as 10 to the power of 0. And the reason that we choose 10 is because we are in base 10 here. So now we will write 0 as 2 plus minus 2. We choose 2 because the prefix centimeters can be written as 10 to the power minus 2. And we have created 10 to the power of minus 2 kind of here. That's why we choose 2. Now we will use the third rule to separate our 10 powers of 10 here into 10 to the power of 2 times 10 to the power minus 2. Now we see where we're going. We identify that we have 10 to the power minus 2, which is our prefix centimeter. or our scalar value. And we can finish up with the maths, do the calculation, and we see that we get 3 centimeters, which is consistent with the first video we did. Now let's do example 2, square meters into square centimeters, again with a lot of steps so that you can see the details of the method. So we got 4 square meters. You write it apart with the multiplication sign. You add the parentheses around the units like we did in part 1. Then we use rule number 1 to add a 1 multiplied by the meter. Then we write 1 as 10 to the power of 0, like in example 1. I added brackets there so that we can see where we will do the next step. We will add or write 0 as 2 minus 2, 2 because of the prefix centimeters here. That has 10 to the minus 2. We use rule number 3 that says that a plus b raised to the x can be written apart like this. Then we will use rule number 4, the distribution of the exponent into our parentheses here with the multiplication here. So we get 10 to the power of 2 to the power of 2 and 10 to the power minus 2 to the power of 2. Because of the 2 that was outside the parentheses here, also the meter to the power of 2. We move up here and we will now use rule number 5 to simplify these 2 factors here into 10 to the power 4 times 10 to the power minus 4. We will factor out 10 to the power 4 outside of the parentheses. Then we will factor the exponent minus 4 into minus 2 times 2. And we will use rule number 5 again to write 10 to the power minus 2 times 2 as 10 to the power minus 2 to the power of 2. Then we will use the distribution of the exponent into the parentheses here in reverse. So we'll take the 2's out and put it here as an exponent. And we get this. Now we can identify that 10 to the power minus 2 is the value for our scalar prefix here. That's the c, centi. Now we have the form centimeters squared. We perform the maths and that is 40,000 square centimeters, which is correct. Now, example 3, we will do quickly so that you will see the power of this method. But this is the same thing that we have done for squares, just with cubes. So we have to think about what prefix the milli is. It's 10 to the power of minus 3. So if we have 5 cube meters, we can jump to this step here where we have added the parentheses, we have added the 1, made it into these powers of 10, and we choose the minus 3 and 3 because of the milli. We factor out 10 to the power of 3. It becomes 10 to the power of 9 because we have this exponent here outside of the parentheses. The the prefix, we change that, and we get our final answer, 5,000 million millimeters, or cube millimeters, I mean. I say 500,000 million. No, I mean 5,000 million, because there's different names for this size of number. That's the video. Please share the video, and thank you for watching.